Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Military life can be challenging at times, but what happens when the soldiers come home? Life after the forces can sometimes prove to be just as difficult. As Hannah Tita reports, Lakeland College has introduced a new program helping military members and their families adjust to civilian life.
We need to recognize them more and for what they've done.
Dale Pierce remembers his last day in uniform 23 years ago when he received a golden handshake and then had to face the fear of the unknown.
I stood there outside base Halifax and I looked and I went, wow, what do I do? 1 minute I had an identity and now I don't. One day I was Petty Officer Pierce and now I'm just Mr. Pierce.
Pierce says ex-military members are often unprepared for civilian life. That's why he created The Way Forward, a program based out of Lakeland College aimed at helping retiring and retired military members transition into civilian life. Nobody prepares you for those things that everybody else in the civilian world knows about, like looking for a doctor, looking for a dentist, accommodations, rebuilding relationships.
The program received a positive response in Camp Wainwright and the Canadian Forces Base in Cold Lake. It is a free online resource for military members, spouses, and dependents.
When you consider that these people, these members have gone through so much, we need to find a way to ease them back into civilian world, and we're here to replace that gap.
People interested in the program are encouraged to contact Pierce at the Vermilion Lakeland campus. Hannah Tita, Newcap News.
Well, hundreds of students came out this morning for a special cultural event. Lakeland College held their 6th annual teepee raising ceremony as students enjoyed juice, bannock, and even had the opportunity to help out in the ceremony. Krisha Khan has more.
The historic teepee, a shelter used for generations by the First Nations. However, to the Cree people, it is more than just a shelter to withstand the elements.
It was the first mobile home. Our people have used it for thousands of years.
Each part of the teepee also has a special value, several meanings that are very important to the Cree people. Now, although they are not used as often in these days, they are still raised for pipe and other traditional ceremonies. This cultural message and more was shared to the over 500 students in attendance.
This year we hosted grade 4 students. They are learning all about the Aboriginal culture as part of their curriculum, so it's worked out lovely.
The students received first-hand knowledge from Elder Brent Dillon of the Onion Lake Cree Nation, and for him, sharing his culture with youth is very rewarding.
Teaching it, showing it to the young children in school age, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Something I would have wanted back when I was younger.
Dillon now having the opportunity to do what he never got to do as a young boy, sharing his culture in the hopes to impact a younger generation of students.
He explained what he was doing as they were raising the teepee. The kids have an opportunity to go in the teepee and to experience it. Plus he tells them a bit about the Aboriginal culture and about the importance and the significance of the teepee to their culture.
Well, the teepee you see behind me was raised in under 30 minutes and will be here at Lakeland College until the spring. Krisha Khan, Newcap News.
This weekend, communities throughout Alberta will celebrate the province's diversity during Alberta Culture Days. It'll be the second year the town of Vermilion takes part, and the Allied Arts Council has commissioned 3 new murals to be highlighted during the festivities. Last year, Calgary artist Barry Overn painted this mural at the newly christened Heritage Park. This summer, 3 more murals have popped up on walls around the city, and there are plans for even more.
It's dressing up the town, and we are just going to continue with our fundraising to have this quality of mural. They're expensive, but it's worth it. They're going to last long.
As a feature site for the province-wide festival, Vermilion received $23,000 in grants, doubling the amount of residents donated towards the murals and the rest of the celebrations. Carrie Pulley-Blank says has been rather working hard to set up the event. She says that town will now show off its diversity at more than 30 venues.
And that's what we're trying to do, is profile what Vermilion and Alberta looks like and feels like, having a look at who we are.
The festival runs Friday through Sunday. You can find a full event schedule at the Vermilion Allied Arts Council Facebook page. Lloydminster students are finally getting their bearings as school has been in session for last month. From textbooks and schedules to meeting new friends and staff, it can all be a little overwhelming. But what about new teachers? Who helps them out with their new school jitters? Here's more on how educators at the Lloydminster Catholic School Division cope in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
It has pirates in it. It's the future, he said.
It's story time for Rebecca Kuzek's grade 3 homeroom class this afternoon as she does her best to entertain her tiny audience. Only covering a 6-month maternity leave last year, this is her first time being a full-time teacher.
Whew, the first week was a little chaotic. Chaotic for us, chaotic for the students, but it was awesome getting to know all the little personalities that you have in a classroom.
Nana was big on the old country.
A few classrooms over, Scott Young is going through his lesson plan and getting a feel for his new pupils.
It's always nice to get a new class. They're always excited to come in and figure out exactly who's who in the class and how I can help them, but it's been a good start so far.
Going into his 16th year as a teacher, you would imagine it's all second nature for Young, but changing divisions this year, he says it's a bit of a learning curve. That's where the school division's instructional coaches come in.
So there's new systems to get used to, but everybody's been really helpful and they've helped me get settled, including my class as well.
All the instructional support, the support from your admin, the resources support, it's amazing how welcomed they make a first-year teacher feel.
According to Kuzak, it's that support that helps her pass down her love of learning to her students.
Those aha moments when a student understands something you taught, I think makes the whole experience amazing.